Mitchell, the man behind Abyss. He promised that he would personally instruct his monster to escort Sting straight down the highway to hell. And that's exactly what happened. And it was a side of Sting that we've never, ever seen before.
Right since TNA's begun, it has always been that if the champ is disqualified, the belt will change hands. Referee Rudy Cole warned Sting repeatedly, but Sting was a man possessed, and he just went too far, and after he put his hands on the ref and took him out, they had no choice but to disqualify him, and thus, the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I stand before you all tonight like a proud father with the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, my monster, Abyss. Now, Sting, I tried to tell you what you should have already known. It's better to laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. And look who's crying now. You see, Sting, at Genesis, despite all of your preaching about dignity and righteousness, you prove that deep down inside, you're no different than yours truly and my monster, the world champion Abyss. Sting, it's time for you to be honest for once in your life. You got into the wrestling game in order to wallow in all of the exquisite pleasures it could provide you. And once you have eaten that fruit, Sting, you can't put it back on the tree. Now at Genesis, you once again walk down a path that you once knew very well. A path of enlightenment that feeble-minded sheep call the highway to hell. Well, now it's time, Sting, to come home for good. We'll keep the light on for you, Sting, and welcome you home with open arms.
Here he comes! There's only so much a man can take, only so much he can hear. And you and I don't know what happened to Sting that night, why he fell to the gates of James Mitchell. But let's hear from Sting right now.
It was almost as if Sting was totally possessed. Wait a minute.
What in the world?
What's going on here?
That is not Sting. The Sting imposter is standing in the ring pointing a bat.
Are we going to find out who this is?
Oh, come on, Christian Cage.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
Anything he does doesn't surprise me.
Christian Cage in the Sting outfit, complete with baseball bat, forces Mitchell and Abyss to retreat.
Is this what I have to do to get my title shot around here? Come out here and embarrass myself on primetime television by dressing up like a complete moron? Complete with pompadour? It's like this. I'm not waiting for Sting to take his rematch at Turning Point against the new World Heavyweight Champion, the masked retard Abyss. It's like the old saying goes, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Hypothetical question, Stinger. What would happen to your #1 contender spot if you were to say, not make it to Turning Point?
Well, they asked for Sting, and something tells me, and check this out!
Coming down
right above the impact zone! Yeah, this is Sting! He gets repelled into
get my match, my rematch tonight, and I'm gonna walk right over the top of you if I have to get there. You want me? You got me right here tonight on the Impact Zone. But I warn you, Christian, I'm in a really bad mood tonight.
Oh, yes! Sting upset he lost that belt. Look at this! He goes right after him, bud! Right into the ring, and Christian Cage fails!
Oh, in a hurry. Christian Cage immediately scoots out.
You know something, Stinger? You know something? I can really care less about your mood swings. I can care less about any of these people. I can care less about the plight of a three-toed sloth. The only thing I care about is me. And if you want me tonight, Sting versus Christian Cage for the first time live on the Impact Zone. What do you say? You put that #1 contender spot on the line.
What do you say, Sting? What's it gonna be?
It's showtime!
Jim Cornette for this all-important main event matchup. It's Christian Cage.
Wait a minute! Look at that! Sting's right behind him, and he doesn't even know it!
Cage doesn't have a clue. The first ever meeting of Christian Cage and Sting is going to start with a bang right now.
Sting just lets him out, and as he followed him out, Christian Cage, and he's getting what he deserves right here from the former champion.
Important, high-profile main event matchup. The winner of this bout will go on to Turning Point December the 10th to challenge the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster Abyss. Who's it going to be? Stinger, Christian Cage, and man Sting on the offensive here in the opening minute.
Oh, Mike, what a historic event this is. The first ever meeting between two of the biggest single stars in TNA, Christian Cage and Sting, and it's all on the line. A shot at the NWA World Heavyweight title.
And we are so thrilled to bring it to you on this Thanksgiving night broadcast of Thursday Night Impact. And look at Sting now up in the crowd here at the Impact Zone. Big right hand right between the eyes. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we return to Thursday Night Impact, it's going to be more of Sting versus Christian Cage. And welcome back, everyone. Thursday Night Impact main event matchup.
We finally see Christian right there get a little momentum his way. And Sting has been a man possessed from the beginning, but Christian Cage found it
Off the drop
and
kick.
hit the drop kick and goes for the pin.
Near fall for Christian Cage. Sting totally in control of this matchup for the first few minutes, but now Christian Cage coming right back, and you can see Sting wearing the t-shirt. And that's understandable after this past Sunday at Genesis when he was put directly into those thumbtacks by the Monster Abyss.
Well, I'll tell you, look at Christian Cage. He is not bowed. He's not cowed by Sting's reputation, by Sting's talent. He is not intimidated. Christian Cage is cool. He knows what he wants to do, and he's systematically setting about to do it.
Could there be a better way for TNA to deal with the Latin American exchange after everything that we've put up with, the threats of burning the flag, than to put them in the ring next week on Thursday Night Impact? And yes, they will have to defend those tag team titles against Kurt Angle and Petey Williams.
Well, you know, I know that I'm supposed to be impartial as a member of management, but after I've been pawed on and snatched around and grabbed on by LAX, I'm going to be like every one of these Impact Zone fans and every one of the TNA Impact viewers at home. I'm going to be rooting for Kurt Angle and Petey Williams, the home team, in that situation. But right now, I think Sting needs some rooting from the home team of his own. Look at that. He's blinded. He can't see.
Well, Christian Cage has said all along that he wants that title shot. His squeaky wheels got in the greases. He's now got himself in such a high-profile match. All he's got to do is beat Sting, and it looks like he's on his way to that. As he just intimidating him now, just embarrassing him now. But here comes Sting right back.
Sting, that violent temper, we saw him lose control of himself at the pay-per-view at Genesis. And I think Christian Cage has lit that fuse again. He tried to insult Sting. And to Sting, that's worse than being physically beaten and pounded, is being insulted.
Jim Cornette, you have been around Sting his entire career. It was almost as if it was a completely different man. It was like Sting was a man possessed that we saw this last Sunday in Genesis.
I'm going to say this. I feel like a champion ought to lose his title by pinfall or submission. But that match clearly needed to be stopped because Sting was out of control. Somebody could have been seriously injured. A matter for a lot of debate at another time because these guys are putting it all on the line for a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship that Sting just lost a few days ago.
Think about this. Sting didn't have to give Christian this match, but he did. He's on a tear. And look at Sting right now. I mean, that is the man that we saw presented Genesis. Look at him with Christian Cage hanging in the balance.
Oh, yeah, holding him high overhead. The press slam powers him down to the mat. He's going to charge across. Stinger splash in the corner, rocks Christian Cage.
Sting taking it to Christian Cage now. And once again, as we said, I think that fuse, that very short fuse of Sting has been lit. Sting a changed man, more aggressive, more violent, more vicious than ever before. And could it be he scored for the Stinger splash? He got the referee. He got the referee.
Referee Andrew Thomas knocked out. Got in the middle of that Stinger splash attempt. Sting going to take down Christian Cage. Gonna lock on the Scorpion. Oh, and just when he went to make that final step and turn him over, Christian Cage raked the eyes.
Good shot right there by Christian Cage. He did what he had to do. He's resilient.
No.
He hits him with the inverted DDT.
That Scorpion death drop. Now he's going to the Scorpion. And what? If he turns him.
There it is. Turn him over.
If he turns him, he's got it.
There it is.
The referee's down. The referee's down. The referee can't see it.
Christian is trying to power. Wait a minute. Who
is this?
What? No.
What's going on?
Wait a minute. That's Tomko. That's Tomko.
This is a man who has solved problems for Christian Cage for several years, and out of nowhere, Tomko has hit the ring. Oh, man, he holds Sting overhead, and he just tossed him away.
Tomko and Cage have a long history as friends and as partners, but Tomko, he doesn't even work for TNA. He's not a contracted wrestler here. He jumped in out of the crowd.
As always, Christian Cage has his bent edge, and you can see when things were going wrong, when it was over, he had Tomko waiting in the wings.
We don't even have a referee to ring the bell here. There's obviously this has gotten completely out of hand. And Tomko, that giant of a man, 6'6" or better, 280 pounds.
I mean, guys, we need a winner in this match. We need to determine who's going to face Abyss for the NWA title at Turning Point. And Jim Cornette, bottom line, nothing's been settled.
I got a lot of thinking to do. I don't know what to do about this.
Christian becomes NWA World Champ again.
Before I get to the matter at hand, I want to come out here and I want to make the formal introduction to the man, the only man that I truly trust in the wrestling business. The man who you can say made quite an impression on Sting just last week. This man is a killer. This man is Tomko.
Tomko and Christian, a lengthy history as friends and partners. As we now know, Tomko's here to ensure Christian becomes NWA champion.
Now let's get to some business. TNA wants to try and put the screws to me. They want to put me in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Turning Point. Well, maybe, just maybe, I'll put the screws to you. Do you forget for 1 second who you're talking to? I'm undefeated. I'm the biggest star in TNA. I'm so damn good. I'm so good that come Turning Point, it may be a single threat match because tonight I plan on taking out both my opponents. Stinger, you learned your lesson last week. And Abyss, we got a little something for you. You know this man right here, don't you, Abyss? You know this man? Huh? Because he sure as hell knows you. I know you're back there, Abyss. I know you're in the back, and I know you can hear me. So why don't you come on out here? Come on out, let's have a little chat. Why don't you and Tomko get reacquainted?
Reacquainted? What's that about? Christian Cage is insinuating that his man Tomko and the monster Abyss, that they have crossed paths before.
That's it. Come on. What's wrong? Come on, you big slobbering retard. What's wrong? You can't talk for yourself? Huh? You gotta have Obama do your talking for you? Come on.
No. I control this monster.
Come on, you talk.
Here's
Let's
James
go.
Mitchell right there. He says he controls
You're
this
gonna listen to
monster.
him?
Not you, Christian
wrong? You
Cage.
can't do
He
your
won't
own
let him
talking.
miss in that ring.
Oh, yeah, you remember Tomko, don't you? You remember him. You know what he's got to say. Come on down.
No. All right. Here comes Sting. After what happened last week, after what Tomko did to him, I'm dying to hear what he's got to say. And he's coming from the rafters here, Mike.
Oh, you're right, Don. Right above the broadcast position. Sting repelling.
What in the world? That's
Wait a
not
minute.
Sting. That's some kind of a dummy.
It's a mannequin
Look
with
at
a
that.
Sting
Oh,
mask.
there's
There it
Sting.
is. Oh, I know what it was. That was the old misdirection play. That was a swerve by Sting, and he just cleared the ring. Both Christian Cage and Tomko bail out.
And you can see Christian right there pulling Tomko out to make sure he doesn't get in, and Sting's armed with the bat. And you know he wants revenge.
Yes, I got something I want to say to you. I want to talk to you man to man and face to face tonight. But Abyss, come alone.
Did you hear that? The invitation from Sting to the Monster Abyss. I want to meet up with you man to man, face to face, but bottom line, don't bring Jim Mitchell. Me man to man. Meet me face to face. But most importantly, I want you to come to the ring alone. And that means one thing. He wants Abyss to come to the ring without James Mitchell.
Come on out, Abyss. Come on out, Abyss.
And ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, he stands 6 feet 8 inches tall, and he is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster Abyss.
Well, I'm surprised by this, but I think the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster Abyss, is going to answer Sting's plea.
Mike, it was something in the look from Sting when he was looking into the heart, into the soul of Monster Abyss. I think it was almost too much for Abyss to bear, as he's got to know what Sting has on his mind.
Remember what went down at Genesis. Sting disqualified. He acted like a man possessed. Yes, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt changes hands on a disqualification. The Monster Abyss becomes new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and James Mitchell said it best. He said to Sting, we are going to take you on the highway to hell.
And it's a new Sting. It's a different Sting that we've seen tonight. It's a Sting that wants to talk. It's a Sting that's got something on his mind. It's not the same Sting that was possessed in Genesis.
Sit down. Sit down. All right, Abyss, have it your way. Abyss, every man has his own will. What is yours? You know, for the last 4 years that I've been coming in and out of here at TNA, I've watched you, Abyss. I've watched you climb the ladder. I've watched you scrape and scrap and crawl and fall through tacks and fall through barbed wire and climb the ladder of success here at TNA until you ended up the world champion. I gotta hand it to you. And I don't know what mystery lies behind you. I don't know anything about your past, Abyss. But none of that matters right now. What matters is you are a bona fide champion. You're a great athlete. But at Genesis, you let Jim Mitchell lead you around like a little puppy dog. What I want to know is why? Why do you let him just lead you around like you're just a little puppet or something? Is it because you're looking for something? Or is it because you're looking for someone? Someone to lead you out of the torment that you're in, the pain that you're in, 24/7.
Is Sting preaching to Abyss?
Oh, it sounds like he's speaking directly to his soul.
From a man possessed to a man trying to reason with a monster.
Or is it because you want to be your own champion now? Or is it because you want to be your own man? Is that what it is, Abyss? Or should I say, Chris?
Chris?
That struck a nerve. That hit home with the monster, Abyss.
You pathetic fool. Sting, you're wasting your time. Like all men, my monster Abyss is an animal, just like you. And your spiritual pipe dreams don't make you any better. I want you to take a look into the eyes of my monster and then go look in a mirror and tell me what you see. You see, Sting, when you let loose with your rage at Genesis, you prove that if you consider Abyss to be evil, then you're exactly the same. So before you go trying to save souls, you hypocrite, I'd suggest that you start by saving your own.
Well, James Mitchell got inside Sting's head at Genesis, and he's trying to do it again.
Or is it the other way around? Could Sting be getting into the mind of James Mitchell?
You need to let him worry about him, and you need to start worrying about you, Abyss, because you make your own choices.
Sunday, December the 10th at Turning Point. TNA Management's Jim Cornette has ordered the three-way triple threat matchup. The new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster Abyss, to square off against not only Sting, but also Christian Cage.
And you gotta wonder, what frame of mind will the... Whoa!
What?
That's Tomko and Christian Cage, and they go right after the Monster Abyss as they blindside him right here.
Oh, you're not kidding. Out of nowhere, Christian Cage and Tomko first putting the boots to Abyss, and now the beatdown continues, and this just proves what we had speculated earlier, that Christian Cage brought Tomko to TNA to ensure that Christian Cage becomes NWA World Heavyweight Champion. They're trying to weaken Abyss prior to Turning Point.
Well, we heard Christian Cage earlier, and now you see Christian Cage and Tomko leave as Sting comes in with a bat, and they're not ready to tango with Sting right now.
Oh, this is an interesting dynamic. Check this out. Sting hits the ring, Christian Cage and Tomko leave, and now Sting face to face with Abyss.
He's looking at right now, he's putting out his hand, trying to lift the Monster Abyss up. Will the Monster Abyss accept it? Will he accept the hand of Sting?
Did he get in his head earlier? Did he convince the Monster Abyss?
Oh, Abyss just looks so confused right here. He looks like he just doesn't understand what's going on. Did you
See that? Over the shoulder of Sting, here comes James Mitchell.
Oh, he's coming right into the ring, and look at that look on his face. He is none too pleased as he's coming right over, and he gets right in between the world champion, and he just slaps Sting in the face.
This is all about control. Mitchell feels like he's the one that controls the Monster Abyss, not Sting.
Now look at Sting, though. I swear he's laughing right here. I swear Sting has a smile on his face as he's looking. Obviously.
Think you know some deep, dark secret in Abyss's past?
Knows the monster very well, better than he may know himself.
You know what? I've looked into his eyes. There's a human being inside there. There's a man inside there. Jim Mitchell just thinks he's an animal.
Sting, you and an entire army of angels couldn't take the Monster Abyss, my monster, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
I should have been the one walking into Turning Point as the #1 contender, regardless of who walked out of Genesis the World Heavyweight Champion.
I'm gonna walk down a different road this time. I'm gonna go down the road that I said I was gonna go down.
For Turning Point in December that didn't involve either one of you gentlemen.
Yeah, well, no disrespect on our part either, Jimbo. But we were standing in the back listening to you and can't help but notice that you're so busy out here trying to keep people from practicing their First Amendment rights.
You too.
Oh, that's a reference to LAX flaunting their constitutional rights to burn the flag.
You've been so busy trying to stop people from their First Amendment rights that you seem to have forgotten the hiring procedures here in TNA. You see, you've done a background check on myself. You've done a background check on Tomko.
And he barely passed.
Be that as it may, we are fine, upstanding young men, Jimbo. But I'm not here to talk about us. I'm talking about your champion. I'm talking about Abyss. Have you done a background check on him? Because if you have, he's done something that would make your stomach turn.
What's he talking about?
It would make you sick, and you wouldn't be out here focusing on LAX. You would be focusing on him. So you know what, Jim? Let me tell you a story about a little boy named Abyss.
Oh, and here comes the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster Abyss, charging into the ring, and Tomko misses with a clothesline. Look at Abyss deck Christian Cage and turn his attention to Tomko.
Look at those devastating rights as you see James Mitchell also walking down ringside, but as he's concentrating on Tomko. Oh, nice boot right there to the face of Christian Cage, but Tomko gets him right there.
Yeah, speaking of big boots, you'll remember last week on Impact, and right there you just heard as well, Christian Cage claiming that Tomko and Abyss's paths have crossed in the past. He has a secret about the Monster Abyss.
Oh, there's 2 weeks in a row he's alluded to it, and you can see this time the Monster Abyss didn't want anything to be said, and now it's just the beatdown as the two of them with Christian Cage with the crowd yelling, but here he is! Here comes Sting!
Baseball bat in hand, Sting on the offensive, shots for Tomko. Oh, there goes Christian Cage. He clotheslined him with the bat over the floor.
This is just a glimpse of what we're going to see this Sunday at Turning Point as Sting, the Monster Abyss, and Christian Cage, all three will be in the ring, and only one comes out holding the NWA World Championship.
Remember last week, Sting tried to get inside the head of the Monster Abyss, and now Sting extending his hand for a handshake to Abyss, and you can see James Mitchell at ringside. I just read his lips. He said, Abyss, don't do it, don't do it.
Oh, he knows that Sting is getting into the mind of the monster. He knows how fragile probably the mind of the Monster Abyss is. Sting really preached to him last week, got into his heart, got into his soul, and you can see him going for it. He does it! He does it! Mitchell's got a black gold slam!
This Sunday at Turning Point, Abyss to defend the NWA World's Heavyweight title, the triple threat match against both Sting and Christian Cage.
And you can see the Monster Abyss looking down at Sting, and James Mitchell getting right in Sting's face. It's this Sunday, the three-way for the championship.
It's our version of the All-Star game. It's TNA's All-Star War. What an uppercut by Angle to Christian Cage. Gonna take him up and, oh man, just tosses him. Bad landing for Christian Cage.
Oh, just the way he threw him on that shoulder, Christian Cage, barely able to kick out of it, but when you look at everybody in that ring, you think about this Sunday at Turning Point. You think about the three-way match where you got the champion Abyss, you got the former champion Sting, and the former champion Christian Cage, all going to be vying for that title. And then Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, the rematch. Oh, this Sunday is shaping up to be an incredible, incredible night.
Series of elbows, rock Angle. Christian able to slide through, doubled over with the boot, and then the release. Overhead, belly-to-belly suplex by Angle on Christian Cage.
Oh, the Olympic gold medalist right there, just showing that strength. He's just so good. Many people consider him the best in the world, maybe the best this business has seen. And you see him pulling back right there on the neck of Christian Cage.
We also see Tomko at ringside. Pretty obvious Tomko's here to ensure Christian Cage gets back the NWA title. Commercial break upcoming. When we return, more of the All-Star War. Come on! And welcome back, everyone, to the TNA All-Star War. I have just been handed a memo from Jim Cornette's office, added to Turning Point. This Sunday on pay-per-view, it's going to be AJ Styles one-on-one against the War Machine Rhino, and late-breaking news, VKM will perform live and in person the next really bad skit, courtesy of Dumb to the Extreme. It all goes down this Sunday at Turning Point.
And Mike, I've just found out how the flag challenge match is going to take place. What it will be is, of course, you've got LAX, America's Most Wanted. You'll have to capture your flag from their corner, and then a ladder will come into play where you have to use the ladder to hang the flag up top, and then your national anthem will be played when you win the match.
Oh, shock treatment by the Monster Abyss on Angle. Cover, pin attempt. stiff. Samoa Joe in for the save. Samoa Joe's watching Kurt Angle's back. Series of punches, rights and lefts. Palm press as well. Cut off quickly by Abyss. Snap slam by Samoa Joe. That's a 350-pounder.
And look at this. And what amazes me is you see Christian Cage hitting the back of Samoa Joe. Oh, and he nails him right on the back of the head. Is how Samoa Joe has always had Kurt Angle's back. Kurt Angle told him to watch it, and Joe respects him so much. He wanted that rematch so much. He's been there every time Kurt Angle needed him.
Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop on Christian Cage, then charges at the Monster Abyss and clotheslines him out to the floor.
Oh, he's got so much he wants to give to Abyss right now. He was trying to help him. He was trying to get him away from James Mitchell, and Abyss made his decision. And now you see Joe going right after Christian Cage, but nice elbow by Cage. Wow!